cinephiles! In this episode, we are going to review an adaptation of Stephen King and Joe Hill's novella, In the Tall Grass, a Netflix film. I can't really say much about this film, but it's 2 hours of people calling each other, finding each other from in the tall grass, and the narrative shifts from 3 characters. Becky, a pregnant woman played by Laysla De Oliveira, Cal played by Avery Whitted, Travis played by Harrison Gilbertson. Probably the most notable cast here is Ross played by Patrick Wilson.
This movie really tested my patience, man. I was actually interested in the beginning because it's a very interesting concept about these people lost in these fields of grass. Before I get into all my negatives, I just want to commend Laysla De Oliveira, who plays Becky. She's the only good performance that I can actually see in this movie. So this movie, it really started out great. It's very interesting concept, and then suddenly they just kept throwing ideas left and right. There's suddenly this magic element to it. There's this time element to it that really didn't make sense, and none of it was bothered to be explained by the movie. I want to hear your thoughts first before I really go deep in this movie.
It didn't bother me that the mystic elements to this film are not explained. Some of Stephen King's work really works if they don't delve into those specifics. But anyway, I have a good impression in this film. The moment it opens up, when you see this grass, I mean, a part of me thinks that I wish I've seen this in the cinema. But that thought quickly goes away as soon as the film goes, because this film, just like what you said, it tested my patience. Don't get fooled much by the gorgeous cinematography. I mean, I love the cinematography of this film. If I am driving by that road, I will stop by that road with or without a child just to take some photos, because that's how gorgeous that's how immersive it feels.
You know, I want to talk about that. This movie has 2 good shots for me. One is this over-the-top shot showing all this grass, and the other one is showing the eyes.
I think that's the opener of the film.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's such a great shot, but the movie kept repeating it. So it got old for me. So that shot went from being great to being extremely repetitive for me. It really got old. And there's another shot where they're showing the eyes of the crow. The first time they showed it, it's great. And then again, they kept repeating it again. It really bothered me, man. So I really didn't like how this movie was shot all throughout.
The same can be said to the screenplay. I've said it to you before that I think this is one of those Stephen King films that could have worked better with a shorter runtime. If it's done in a short film, it will deliver much intrigue. You will be left wanting for more. If it's done with the length of, say, a Black Mirror episode, it would be more effective. This is the type of film where it doesn't really set much on the rules. How do they get away from this place? So the whole time you are disoriented with them. I mean, you can't really think forward. You would like to think that your audience will have a more interactive role in this, that they will throw up some ideas how do they escape this, just like any other survival film.
I think the reason why that happens is because they kept introducing new ideas even halfway through the movie that doesn't really make sense, and there's so many ideas happening at the same time that at the end it's just a big pile of shit.
I give this film a chance if I'm going to be drawn at the emotional core. But we started with this film with knowing little about these characters and ended with the same level, roughly the same level. These are just paper-thin characters that I ultimately did not care if they survive or not. I'm actually just, in my head, I was just ready for this film to be over with so I can get back to my Breaking Bad marathon. That's how bad this film tested my patience.
I want to get into some of the performances. The kid, I think you like the performance of the kid right here, but for the most part, I think that kid is only one note. He has a good scared face. He has that one scared face for the entire movie. He wears that face all the time, and another thing that got old for me. And then Patrick Wilson, of course, he's the most notable cast member in this movie. I expected more from him, but
He can't really do much beyond his
no,
character.
and yeah, his character.
Kind of falls on a stereotypical mad
Yeah,
person.
I think that character was supposed to add tension to the movie, but never really did because he's just mumbling these things, trying to be intimidating, but the dialogue is kind of silly. So instead of being
Well, the
scared,
dialogue is actually them calling each other. I'm
Oh,
sure
yeah.
I'm going to view the screenplay of this film is about Carl, Becky, next page. we have-
Tobin!
That's how the film works, and it really runs dry. The
Yeah.
intrigue really runs dry really fast. But going back to the kid played by Tobin, his name is Will Bowie Jr. I didn't fully love his character, but I like the acting of that kid because that kid is giving me a lot of sinister vibes. That creepy kid, and I really want to see more of that act in future horror
And then he
films.
just disappeared. The sinister vibe of the kid just disappears halfway in the movie. Another thing that's really weird.
Yes, that only goes to show how this film fails to manipulate tension.
Yeah.
I mean, as I've said, the rules of this film are really confusing.
Yeah.
The time, I don't know how they were able to really lay this out in such a comprehensible way. Okay.
I think they should have focused more on the stress of these characters being trapped into the grass because they really didn't focus much on that aspect of the fear of these characters. That's why this didn't really become a scary movie because it focused more on the mystic elements of the movie. That's why it fell flat for me. So I think if they focus more on those characters, on what they're feeling at this moment, being trapped in this fields of grass, I think this movie would have worked better.
Yeah, because without giving away much, these characters have their relationships, their
Yeah.
pre-existing relationship. I think the film has an overarching theme of sometimes people are being drawn together
Mhm.
by mystic forces. I think this is that overarching theme, but it doesn't really come out as successful as
Yeah.
the film would have wanted it to be. On a scale level, it doesn't really do much.
Okay, so in conclusion, this movie has one good performance in it for me. The narrative of this movie didn't really make much sense. I think they should have focused on other things. It didn't really work for me. So I'm giving this movie 2 out of 5 stars.
The slew of the horror films that I'm going to binge watch this month in the tall grass sadly falls on the forgettable tier. And like its tall grass, this film heavily needs a trimming. So I am gonna give this film a 2 out of 5 stars.
Wow, I like that, man. I like that. Okay, so that's it for our review of In the Tall Grass. If you like this video, please click that like button and subscribe to our channel.
Also follow us on Twitter at ScreenKingsPH. Guys, thank you for watching, and we are going to do more Halloween specials. So please, if you have any ideas, we would like to hear from you. Okay, bye guys.
Goodbye!